You wrote that Trumpism is a cult.
Trumpism is a cult. Yeah.
So how does that connect to this, and what do you mean by that?
Well, let me be clear. When I use the word cult, I use it in its pejorative sense. As
good for you.
Yeah, I mean, scholars, we try not to use the word cult because it's a value judgment word. It's like your religion is a cult and my religion is a religion. And as I never get tired of saying, cult plus time equals religion.
Yes.
So,
yes.
But in this case, I mean it really specifically in the terms that it's been used in the pejorative sense, by which I mean an insulated group of individuals in thrall to a charismatic leader to whom they have given divine status, prophetic status. And that is definitely what has happened among a large swath of white evangelicals when it comes to Trump. Let's back up and just make sure we're on the same page here. 81% of white evangelicals voted for Donald Trump in this last election. That's a record. That's more white evangelicals than voted for George W. Bush, and he was a white evangelical. To this day, Trump has the lowest approval ratings of any president in modern history. His presidency is deteriorating before our very eyes. He has lost support in almost every single category except white evangelicals. To this day, still 3/4 of white evangelicals strongly support him. And among those 3/4, according to the PRRI, this is the Public Religion Research Institute, among those 3/4 of white evangelicals, support for him is highest among those who go to church at least once a week. So the more religiously devout evangelical you are, white evangelical, the more likely you are to support a lying, lecherous, greedy, sexist, racist, narcissistic sociopath whose entire worldview makes a mockery of Christianity. It makes a mockery of basic Christian tenets like humility and empathy and care for the poor. And scholars like myself have been just racking our brains trying to figure this out, because it makes no sense. These are, after all, the people who call themselves value voters, right? This is the moral majority, as they like to refer to themselves. So why? There's a couple of reasons. Number one, you've noticed I keep saying white evangelicals. 67% of evangelicals of color actually supported Hillary Clinton. So these are people who believe the same thing, but who just have a different skin tone. So let's not forget that race has something to do with it. But the one figure that I think is impossible for us to really understand, again, PRRI did this research. White evangelicals, in the span of a single election cycle, in other words, going from Barack Obama to Donald Trump, they went from being the group in America that was most likely to say that public morality in a politician matters, to now the group that is least likely to say that. Atheists in America say public morality in a politician matters more than white evangelicals who call themselves value voters. There is only one real explanation for this, and that it's in the same way that Trump has transformed the Republican Party, has really hijacked the Republican Party. He has transformed white evangelicals into, a large swath of white evangelicals, into his own personal cult.